All jivas are going home to the self, but because they imagine themselves to be real, separate entities, they forget about going home and get distracted by other things. There was once a king who had no children since he was getting old and had no heir to succeed him. He decided to adopt one who would be the ruler of the kingdom. Then he died. He thought to himself,
if I don't have an established heir in place when I die, there will be a lot of trouble in the kingdom after I die.
He called one of his guards and asked him to make an announcement that he would open the gates of his palace the following day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and that all the people of the kingdom could come in and be interviewed for the job of being the next ruler. No one would be prohibited from coming in. The next morning, crowds of people assembled at the gate, each of them hoping that he or she would be the next ruler. They were greeted by the guards and the courtiers. One of the courtiers announced,
"You are about to meet the king and be received by him. You must look good when this happens. Look at you all. Some of you are just dressed in rags. We will clean you all up, give you a nice bath, feed you and give you some nice new clothes, and then you will be presentable to the king. Come with us."
Everyone was taken into the palace and offered all the facilities that the king enjoyed. For this one day, all the visitors had the run of the palace, which meant that they could take and consume whatever they wanted. Those who were interested in perfumes collected bottles of perfume. Those who were interested in clothes collected many items of clothing. Other people luxuriated in the king's baths, ate his food, and watched his dancers and singers perform. This went on all day, and everyone forgot what he or she had come to the palace for. The king waited in his throne room, but no one went there to see him, because all the candidates were too preoccupied with enjoying themselves with the king's luxuries. At the end of the day, at 6 p.m., when no one had shown up to claim the throne and the kingdom, the king withdrew his offer and asked everyone to return home. If anyone had gone to the king immediately, without getting sidetracked, all these treasures would have been his or hers permanently, not just for a few hours. But everyone forgot the purpose for which he or she had come to the palace. This is what happens to jivas. The throne of the kingdom of liberation is waiting for anyone who wants to walk in and claim it. But these jivas all get sidetracked into enjoying pleasures and accumulating possessions. At the end of their lives they die and get reborn again and continue with their pleasures and sufferings. You are all so busily engaged with your attachments and desires. You have forgotten the purpose for which you incarnated. You have forgotten that you came here for liberation. What good will these desires, attachments, and possessions ultimately do you? What will you leave this world with? Nothing. Don't spend all your time eating, drinking, wearing fancy clothes, listening to music, and so on. You can waste your whole life on things such as these, and most people do. Keep a balanced life and remember why you are here. You can have a shower, you can have a good bath, you can dress well, you can eat well, but don't forget to meet the king. He is waiting for you. He has allowed you to enter his palace. The gate to freedom is open. He wants you to walk through it, and he is waiting for you on the inside. Unfortunately, no one goes in because everyone is distracted and seduced by something outside that gate. This is not good, but this is what is really happening. 2,600 years have passed since the Buddha ignored all the attractions of his own palace and walked through that door to freedom. Who is following him? No one. All are enjoying, eating and dancing. Whose fault is this? Freedom is waiting for you with extended arms, but you are not responding to the loving embrace that it wants to give you. You are otherwise engaged. What you don't understand is that when you try to get happiness from all these objects of pleasure, you are really searching for the happiness of your own self. Your search is simply misdirected. You are all looking for happiness, but you never find it because you are all looking in the wrong place. If you find the correct place to look, instantly you will get it. That instant is the moment you drop all the pleasures of the kings and walk directly into the throne room to meet the king. How much time do you need to do this? How much time does it take to turn your back on all these enjoyments? In this story, the gate was open for 12 hours. From 6 in the morning until 6 in the evening. In your lifespan you have 80 years. You can enjoy that life, but remember that the most important thing you have to do in this incarnation is to run into the king's throne room and claim that prize. Don't postpone. Don't think that you have time to do it later. Make it your first priority. Reject transient pleasures and run inside to meet your inner king. Once you have done that, the whole kingdom will be yours while you are waiting in the courtyard. You have a special dispensation to use the king's property for one day. If you become the king by accepting his invitation, it will all belong to you for the rest of your life. You won't have to ask if you can use the baths because they will all be yours. When you become one with the self by claiming your freedom, you will have no more desires, because everything will be your own self. There will be nothing apart from you that you can desire or want. Take this one instant to accept the invitation of the king. and receive his love, and from then on you will be happy all the time. The whole world will be your own self, and you will revel in the enjoyment of it. If you just spend your life enjoying yourself, thinking, "This is mine," at the end of your life you will be sent away because you will have failed to take advantage of the offer and the invitation of the King who is within you, and when you go, you will not be allowed to take any of the things you were guarding as mine with you. All these things, your enjoyments and your possessions, are deceiving you. Everything you touch is biting you, but you don't notice, and you keep coming back for more. Touch anything in this world, and you will find that it has a sting in it. The rose may look beautiful, but when you try to grab it, you get impaled on the hidden thorns. You have to be very careful with what you do, what you smell, what you use. You are going to meet your own self, your own very close relative. No one is closer to you than your own self. This self is your eternal friend, your deathless, permanent, and most beautiful companion. But you don't know and appreciate this. Because you don't look at it properly, you don't have the correct eyesight for this. Go near to it. Have a glimpse of it. Test it. And if it doesn't pass this test of permanence, reject it. Make your own choice. But at least go and see it for yourself. Don't merely rely on hearing about it from others. Advance towards it. Get face to face with it. And if you don't like it, reject it.